So let's go ahead and talk about the third mayor's forum. So we have this brand new mayor. We've never had a mayor ever in our lives. Well, we did have one 50 years ago. They're still calling it the first mayor. It doesn't matter. So it does matter because it's not the first fucking mayor, but it is the first postmodern mayor era. First mayor of the postmodern era. It is the first mayor in the 2000s. It's the first mayor in a really long time. So that's fair, right? So I want to talk about, let's start off with Nick Gradisar. So the Kingfish. He doesn't like to be called the Kingfish. So that's one thing. I told him he was always impressive, and I said, is it okay if I call you the Kingfish? And he says, no, you better not call me that. But historically, I mean, the Kingfish, basically I'm just saying he's the front runner, which I know that's 100% accurate. He's the one that come up with this entire thing. But he is establishment as fuck, but he shouldn't be disqualified for creating the thing because he pushed city council to do it as a citizen. As a member of the Democratic Party, as a member of the Chamber of Commerce, as a member of the Water Board member, but not as a member of the City Council itself. And so whereas Lori Winter, Steve Noraki, Dennis Flores, they all actually participated in the actual creation of the mayor's office and the election, they should be disqualified. But Nick Gradisar did not. He pushed City Council to do it, so he pushed others to do it. So, you know, he's establishment as fuck. He's one of the major Democrats in town. He's one of the biggest. He was the chairperson of the Chamber of Commerce. So that's the businesses, right? So that's all the businesses. And he's the one that was able to break City Council. He broke City Council's back. So his 70 changes, which was called Big Strong Mayor, he's the one that authored all this, including Section 6.4, which is the immunity clause for all the city employees. All the city employees will get complete immunity. So Nick Gradisar is the Kingfish. He is the one to beat. And since now we have a 2-round voting system, it's just going to be him and somebody else. I can't imagine anybody else this turning out in any other way except for Nick Gradisar versus one anti-establishment person. He's a conservative. He's a he's a establishment, non-establishment, conservative, liberal kind of guy. But because he's establishment for such a long time, he's conservative. He's very conservative. The two progressive ideas that I really, really like are just so obvious on their face, and really the other people better start repeating this shit or say that they oppose it, because we're going to get ourselves some municipal electricity. So that means we're actually going to have cheaper electric. You like this water? You like how clean it is? Municipal electricity, I think, should be a hand in the market. It shouldn't be a monopoly, but that's Dennis Flores. Their mentality is to monopolize, mandating trash pickup, even though there's money in trash, but we're going to mandate trash pickup so the 3 corporations could flood our landfills with a bunch of shit to fuck up our groundwater. So Nick Gradisar is for municipal electric. This is very progressive as fuck, and very exciting. So he's for municipal electricity. He's for municipal electricity. He's also for an ombudsman. So that way to help people, get through the system, to figure out where you're supposed to go to do this and to do that. An ombudsman is exactly what Pueblo needs. So Gradisar, he actually gave me one of the best compliments that I think anybody has when it comes to strong mayor. There were people that opposed strong mayor, but I had asked him whether or not we were going to do a charter convention, if there was any plans in the works to do the charter convention, and he said no, not at all. You know, he got it through ballot initiative, so why would he do it the right way? But more importantly, he was like, are you the one who opposed the mayor? Are you the one? This is the Kingfish. This is the author. This is the architect, the man who architected, who constructed the mayor's office. He said, am I the one who opposed it? So out of everybody who opposed it, he only heard one voice out in the wilderness, and it's a constitutional argument. So really, the government don't know what the fuck is going on. The citizens don't know what the fuck is going on. And I have yet to hear a constitutional justification for any of this shit. So, Nick Gradisar's for municipal electric. Let's just talk about his policies. Kingfish is Huey Long, so he's familiar with the history. That's a leftist populist from Louisiana. So Kingfish, it's not an insult, but if anything, maybe he just realizes that I know that he's the one to beat. He's the front runner. And especially since there's no instant runoff voting. Before, we were going to be able to rank 10 candidates. So fuck all the lesser candidates. Fuck all those dumb minor candidates. There's no fucking point. We can only find one strong establishment candidate, and we have to rally against that person because Nick Gradisar has got this. Nick Gradisar is going to become the mayor. Not only was he able to get the mayor thing passed with 70 different amendments and a lot of bullshit tucked into it, but he was also able to get the 2-round voting system pushed too, which is to his advantage. It is to his advantage. So I do not see this being Gradisar versus Flores. Flores could slither in there, but he won't. He won't do it. It'll be Gradisar, and it'll be one anti-establishment type, and it'll be between Gradisar and a very intelligent anti-establishment type, such as a Tony Pemberton or a Janet Wilson or a Jackie Massey. So he's definitely the one that beat. He is the Kingfish, whether he wants me to call him that or not. That's who the fuck he is. And so other things he had mentioned during his speeches, he says that it's a historic election. I didn't see any reporters there. There are about 50 people, members of the community. Somebody did say, well, look who showed up and who didn't show up. And Charlotte Perez had got some claps from that. And while I feel that, I also know, politics. Just because somebody organizes an event, there could be politics, right? If there's some asshole that's leading the damn thing. So that doesn't mean much to me. I am happy that the ones who did show up, and for the ones who didn't, I guess I would like some sort of explanation, because if they are just afraid of the people, well, that's a problem. But if they just don't like some of the organizers who put on the event, well, that's a little bit different now, isn't it? We do need reporters, we need citizen reporters, we need activists, we need actual citizens. Where are the citizens at? And so, yeah, we need reporters who confront the power, but we just need citizens who confront power. I mean, this is the mayor's race, and there's almost more candidates for mayor than there were people at the forum, in the general population. I mean, it's not that bad. It was about 50-10, but still, like, what? So, Nick Gradisar is part of the Chamber of Commerce. I think that tells you something. He's part of the Democratic Party. He's been around for a long time. He's part of the Water Board, so what could he actually have done? Well, you can make homelessness and poor people, poverty, one of the planks, and he actually has made poverty a plank. So, which means Gradisar is declaring a war on poverty. That's exciting, some exciting shit too. I was like, nobody has declared a war on poverty. Nobody has criticized the war on drugs. Nobody's mentioning the lack of homeless shelters. So Gradisar's plan is just a Republican plan, essentially. If we get the economy up and going, all we got to do is get that economy up and going, and then we get more tax dollars, and then we'll save everything with the more taxes, right? So that's all we got to do, create incentives, create jobs, do all this other shit, instead of actually solving the fucking problem. If you got a pothole, you fill it. If you got a trash problem, you pick up the trash. If you got a homeless situation, you build shelters. If the war on drugs is bullshit, if you got police brutality, you get somebody to check that. You cancel the war on drugs. You want to get rid of poverty, you pass universal basic income. You get land reform. You do something that actually changes people for the better. To be like, well, I'm going to get a government program and I'm going to get incentives, and to think what? These fucking wretched motherfuckers out here are going to what? Jump on your programs and then pull themselves out of it? This is a dog-eat-dog capitalist society. And there's an intention. The reason why we have the poor class is intentional. Somebody's got to do the shit work. And that's what the middle class and the wealthy all agree on. We must maintain the poor class. Unfortunately, you try to do that, Okay, So, yeah, I feel like because he's an establishment member, he isn't disqualified like Lori Winter, Steve Noraki, or Dennis Flores is. They already had their hands in the cookie jar. So it's like a corn maze. So Dennis Flores, he went ahead and made this corn maze. He knows the route. He knows which way to go. He already knows the shortest direction, right? He's rigged the system up with a 2-round voting system instead of instant runoff voting, which is a perfect election system. It's the absolute perfect. You could swing for the fences. You could dream up the best goddamn fucking fairest system ever. You could rank 10 people out of 21 candidates. Who are your favorite 10? Now, out of 21 candidates, who's your favorite 1? You stupid motherfuckers, right? That's Dennis Flores also said something like that about how we need to educate the people. We need to educate the people because they're too dumb to understand, what Dennis Flores, a fucking intelligent. He also says management. He's a big manager. He's got a management style that he's stuck with all of his life. There's a distinction between leadership and management. Manage is when you oppress somebody and you're authoritarian. His authoritarian personality, fucking rubs me the wrong way, but his policies are even worse. He thinks that his mandatory trash thing saved all Pueblo. So he's an old goat head, and he's maintaining goat heads. He's maintained poverty. 1 out of 4 out of 5 kids are in poverty. Nearly 1,000 kids are homeless surfing. So this house, couch surfing, they're homeless. So this is Dennis Flores. People that says he's like, I got a track record. I've been doing this shit. I've been on this board. I've been on that board. I've been on the school board. Well, how come we have so many fucking problems? Why do we have so many goddamn heroin addicts? Why do we got so many poor people? Why do we got so many homeless addicts, Why do we got so much corruption? Why do we got so much brutality? How many people have been killed this year? What, about 6 people being killed? Every fucking year people are killed. And then there's all the suicides. Why are people so sad and depressed in a city with marijuana stores all over the fucking place? And the goat heads. You've been ignoring your goat heads the entire time. Every morning I wake up and I got to spend an hour or 2 hours just picking out the goat heads. It's sort of therapeutic, but it's bullshit. I guess I should have gone with some weed killer, but my tactics is to germinate the thing and then pull them up and then dispose of them once and for all. But that's for my 1 yard. I'm trying to just, do my business, handle my business, doing it in my place, but I feel like nobody else is really focusing on the goat head fucking issue. And it's a pandemic. The goat heads are winning. The goat heads are beating the shit out of the humans. And Dennis Flores, he says he's got a track record within every problem that's been systemic and institutional. Goes right on Dennis Flores' doorstep. You've been around for this long, then why the fuck are there so many fucking problems here? Jesus Christ. It has never been prosperous. Nick Ayers, which doesn't have a chance to become mayor, but he is very quotable. He's very intelligent. He's got a lot of smart stuff going on. Garrison Ortiz become commissioner, so, I guess anything's possible. I've been wrong before. But he's the boy from Pueblo, and the boy from Pueblo says, I've been living in Pueblo my whole fucking life. And the boy from Pueblo says Pueblo's never been prosperous. He believes in the potential. He believes in what Pueblo can do. But it's never been rich and wealthy and prosperous and everybody doing great. So that's a local person saying, listen, what the people are saying is, the reason why there's high crime rates and people are talking about the crime, because crime exists. Why are people talking about homelessness and poverty? Because it exists, because it's here. Sit there and pretend it's prosperous. It's prosperous for some. Go to Pueblo West, it's a libertarian's wet dream. But here you actually have to deal with the issues. You can't just push the fucking homeless and poverty off because the homeless and the poor people live here. They're from Pueblo. Pueblo created them. Pueblo had them. Pueblo put them through their school system. They are Pueblo through and through. Pueblo is creating poor, homeless, heroin addicts by the bushel. I don't know if it's that much, but he's the old goat head. So Dennis Flores is the old goat head. So this is about Gradisar. So let's get back on. So Gradisar is right when it comes to municipal electric. He's right to declare war on poverty. He's wrong with his Republican ideas of just getting economic incentives and shit. War on poverty will entail a lot of things. So I hope he develops that idea, because he said 3 ideas that he was against, or 3 ideas, the most important issues facing Pueblo City, according to Nick Gradisar, is poverty, energy, and health care. Healthcare, that's interesting that a city is talking about healthcare. 80% of the care is supposedly indignant care, which is just poor people don't have, not having fresh food, so it's just being, a problem of your circumstances making your health worse, and now you're going to the hospital for it. He's going to be asked a question about sick leave. So, let's see, the 3 issues, healthcare, energy, that's municipal electric, and poverty. So I'm glad he's talking about poverty, but he goes, how we're going to get rid of poverty is we're going to go get some economic opportunities. Economic. He said it like 4 or 5 times. Well, we need some economic programs and economic opportunities. Like, oh my God, eco-fucking-nomics. Motherfucker lives on the ivory tower drinking lattes, eating caviars, goes to the coffee shop, right? Gentrification. Mr. Gentrification looks down upon us plebes. He's just so smart. But he's wrong about poverty. He didn't mention it. So I'm happy that he mentioned it. He's the Kingfish. And so he's going to represent the conservative progressive. He's going to represent how progressive we're allowed to go. So right now, there's 3 planks we're going to be very progressive as a city on. We're going to be very progressive when it comes to municipal electric. We're going to be very progressive when it comes to having an ombudsman and somebody that be able to, get through the system. And we're going to be progressive when it comes to having a war on poverty. So he's the conservative progressive. So he only has 3 fucking progressive planks. Everything else is just keep it the same. So all a progressive needs to do, and the outsider, is to just, come up with 5 other more fucking gold plans, and then just smash the shit out. Just beat him, just force him down Gradisar's throat. Don't try to put him down Pueblo City's throat. Try to put it down some of the establishment folks. Maybe go to city council. Maybe go to the commissioners. Maybe the sheriff. Maybe go to Denver. I don't know. So, for Gradisar, he's in favor of the baseball stadium. It's supposed to cost $25 million or something. So he's about economic opportunity. I just hate that when they say, you have a choice between economic and economic, and you were like, you know what? I can say economic, and even though that's what the fuck it is, it's economic, right? Is the economy doing right? I don't say, is the economy doing right? Hey, how's the economy doing? If we all start saying, what's going on with the economy? It's like, why are you saying it like that? It's like you're just saying it differently just to be a prick. I knew this one lawyer, and he would say defendant. Instead of saying a defendant, he would say a defendant because he really wanted to emphasize the A-N-T on defendant. And it just, I guess the purpose is to make sure it stays in my mind, and it has. But it stayed in my mind as him being an annoying fuckwad. So, in economics, that's if you had a choice between saying the working class version of a word and the yuppie, stuck-up, snotty version of the word, and you went with the snotty version, well, that tells me something about yourself, too. You went to college, right? You think you're better than everybody, right? You think you're so damn... I'm a political science major, so it's not like... I don't know. I can see what you're saying. It's basically you're one of us. You know how to do some book learning. You could read a book and you can analyze shit. You're a man of papers. It's a liberal arts education. So, anyways, what am I saying here? I am saying that he's wrong about everything else. He's wrong about how he even talks. So, Gary Clark, he said the 3 problems was cleanliness, fairness, and diversity. So he was talking about we need to clean up the city. We need to be fair. We need diversity just to compare and contrast poverty, energy, and healthcare. What can a city do on healthcare? I guess, are we going to try to what? I think he mentioned something about bringing the two hospitals together. Something about, making a monopoly. But we can do municipal healthcare too. It's headed to that direction anyways. I would be for municipal trash, municipal electricity, municipal healthcare, municipal Wi-Fi. Hell yeah, I would. So, I'm for municipal everything. Municipal laptops, municipal vehicles, municipal... I don't know. But, just if it's implemented fairly and not as a monopoly, as a one player of many in the system. Because I think that's a good way to regulate. Make sure there's not price gouging. And then you could, you got some advantages, but you got some disadvantages. You got to pay everybody a decent wage, which I think is a good thing, so you could set the example, but you don't have to worry about your stakeholders or your stockholders. You just have to worry about stakeholders, so you don't have to worry about making a profit if you're a government entity, whereas if you're a private company, you got to worry about making a profit. So the government, they just need to make enough of a profit to be able to pay themselves, so they just need to be self-sustaining. So, a couple more things here. They asked him about sick leave, and I think he kind of bumbled it. Essentially, he didn't have a good answer, so I think if you don't want to, if someone asked me about the war on drugs, I'd, knock that question out of the park. But when it comes to questions that, maybe if somebody was to ask me, well, what is your, when did you first make your first $1 million? Well, I haven't made $1 million. Does that somehow make me less than? You are less than everyone else because you are not a millionaire. So Ted Lopez wanted to extend sick leave to all the people. So eventually Ted Lopez just come in and he's like, you know what? It's not just for the firefighters and the police. Everybody should have sick leave. And the whole point is to make sure that people don't go to work and don't go to school if they're sick. If you got a common cold, just stay at home, sleep a couple days, and then you still got your job back when you come back. So that's what sick leave is. You can mandate that. You don't have to fund it, just unfund it, mandate it. Say if you're sick, you're allowed to stay home. We don't want to, you coughing up a bunch of shit in Taco Bell and getting everybody else sick. So Russell Martinez was for sick leave. He just said sure, which I appreciated his efficient answer. Ted Lopez wanted to extend it to all the people, but Gradisar, he seemed confused by it. He said the firefighters and the police already have it, and he seemed like he was okay with just stopping it right then and there. Well, the police and the city employees, they already got it. They already have it, so who cares? Mandating sick leave for Pueblo City. So it doesn't seem like Nick Gradisar is going to be mandating sick leave for Pueblo City anytime soon. So he's for the Ombudsman. He's for a war on poverty. His planks are stupid, but his, a war on poverty that's the right rhetoric. And then he's for municipal electricity. Municipal electric. He might get fucking elected just by having one issue. Just like Lopez. My Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is a good fucking, just one good vision. And they always say, what's the vision? Here's your vision. Legalize marijuana, right? So let's make marijuana huge here. And technology, because we need to be smart and intelligent. We're the future, the generation, right? Where this is the youth of a nation. This is a brave new world. This is, Terminator 2 land. We need to get some artificial intelligence. We need to get Skynet up and running. We have, it's just a brave new world, so it's internet generation, so we have lots of technology. So technology, definitely, and solar power. All this talk about going green and municipal electricity, we need to get solar panels on every motherfucking house in Pueblo City. Every Pueblo City should have solar panels. It should look weird if you don't have solar panels. And we should have good batteries, and we should allow people to sell their electricity to their neighbors, and really, get energy independent. Sunlight. When are we going to run out of sunlight? Never. So as soon as we install those solar panels, they'll produce electricity till what? Fucking forever? Till the day we die? Fucking forever? Talk about infrastructure. My God. Instead of paying $25 million for a baseball stadium, spend $25 million for a bunch of solar panels. So Gradisar made one good argument in the thing. He's very confident. He's very loud. I don't think he's been told no too many times, and he needs that. He needs people around him that'll tell him the truth and won't just let him, think that he's the shit. His mayor thing, it wasn't a crazy idea. It was just slightly interesting, and they're like, all right, fine, let's just change everything. So, since he is, Gradisar made a good speech about the golden street tax. So we went ahead and got, on our water bills, we're being charged $1 for a water enterprise, some kind of tax. So we have $1 on our water bills, which is supposed to go for the streets. We're supposed to be making streets better. What happened to that? There's no program. Nobody's getting these streets saying we're supposed to have golden streets, but really just went into the general coffers and then they, passed it out to their contractor buddies instead of actually building the streets. People were talking about potholes. There was potholes like 3 or 4 times it was mentioned. My route is actually pothole free, so I can't, jump on board with what they were talking about. But Gradisar is sitting there saying, how are potholes still a problem? There are still potholes in the city. They got a blank check for, a dollar piece. That's like millions. They're generating millions of dollars from that street repair tax. I called it the Golden Streets, the Golden Streets, the green. It was a green thing. What's a green jewel? The Emerald Streets of 2017 tax. So the Emerald Streets, we should have no potholes whatsoever. So he got a good response for that. He was saying city council hasn't done shit about that street enterprise blank check tax 2017. So, yeah. Other small notes that I want to mention. You have Gradisar thanked everybody for coming, right? They always do that perfunctory thing. I hate it when people filibuster for way too long. If you don't want to talk to us, then you'll just sit there and be like, hey, thank you for this and thank you for that. And really, just thank you personally. It's like, shut the fuck up. Tell me what do you believe in? God damn it. Just sitting there doing all this other, fluff bullshit. So Gradisar says that really it's a perception issue. We're our own worst enemy. If you go to Denver, Colorado Springs, every town has blight. He's the chairman of the Chamber of Commerce. He's a charter member of Action 22, so he knows what's up with Chamber of Commerce. You had Tony Pemberton was like, what the fuck is going on with the Chamber of Commerce? Nobody knows. And Gradisar was like, I know, but you're right, nobody else knows. And then Tony Pemberton said also, with Petco, what the fuck is going on with Petco? What the fuck is going on with the Chamber of Commerce? How come nobody knows what's going on with these organizations? And Gradisar was like, hey, I know what's going on with them. And really, isn't that all that fucking matters? Fuck the people. So Chamber of Commerce, they are for big business. So it's actually not a big surprise that he doesn't give a shit about the poor or the homeless. He does have a war on poverty, but the war on poverty is going to be solved by big bankers' plans of economic incentives and just a bunch of political fucking double-speak bullshit that won't work. So he is right that, you know, there's problems in every city and every town, but let's solve our fucking town's issues. So who gives a shit about Denver? Who gives a fuck about Colorado Springs? I liked it when Tony Pemberton said he went up to Colorado Springs and he was like, I still don't like that city. As a citizen of Pueblo, I like that. I like that nationalism. Pueblo pride, right? Get a passion for Pueblo. Fuck Colorado Springs. Fuck Denver. You know, you want to get you want to get trash and turn that into electricity? Well, you better get on the Grand Junction. We should be listening to Grand Junction. Also, another thing, Dennis Flores. Dennis Flores didn't even know about Grand Junction. Waste to electricity. He doesn't understand nothing. This motherfucker has just been living in a cave. He's a fossil. And he just doesn't understand anything, any new technology, any type of new anything. He's just kind of like, what? And he also mandates trash to fuck over the poor. We could make money off of our trash, but he's like, I don't give a shit about actually profiting off of this trash. If we profited, then we wouldn't have to charge the people. No, he wouldn't want to do that. Instead, it's just like Obamacare. We're being mandated to buy private corporations service from a private corporation. So, but other cities have done it, yeah, other yuppie motherfuckers. I mean, $50 to you might not be shit, and it might be a misdemeanor, could stay in the judicial system for quite some time. So, $50, $100, $200 fine, you might not think that's shit, and it should go to the landlords, not to the renters either. So, I don't know. He just made it sound like he solved all of our problems. One of his planks got solved, but that was the only fucking issue he ran on. I'm for mandatory trash, because, and the way Flores got elected, he wasn't elected based on his reverent authority. He's another old Democrat, and he has money. So he spent some billboards, he spent some TV ads or whatever. I didn't see him at all during the campaign. None of his planks or ideas were progressive or exciting. It was just, hey, remember me? I'm Dennis Flores from, you know, that one thing we did 10 years ago. Oh, okay, fuck it. Let's just go ahead and keep on putting these same establishment assholes right back in there. Dennis Flores cheated with the two-party system, the two-round system. He is making sure that we only have a Democrat and a Republican, a conservative and a, you know, so the Republican is going to be Nick Gradisar. So Dennis Flores ran to the right during the city council campaign. He'll keep doing it. He'll keep fucking up. He's Mr. U.S. Bank. He's Mr. 1%. He's an advisor to U.S. Bank. He don't give a shit about the homeless. He would have solved it a long time ago. He's got power right now as a city councilman. As a city councilman, he can solve everybody's problems if he gives a shit about anybody. So, Larry Atencio, a lot of people also said, the poor's been around forever. So, Larry Atencio said, what does the Bible said? We will always have poor. Yeah, it also says, give a shit about the poor, and if we take care of everybody, we'll be okay. So, which, passage are you going to cherry pick? And that's the same thing. Gradisar has very much that attitude. And then there was that other guy who was like, we've had homeless people here since the beginning of time. So, 50,000 years ago when the first chimpanzee turned into a human being, he didn't live in a home. I bet he did live in a home. I bet he had a fucking tree, and I bet that was his home. So to sit there and be like, we've had homelessness, we've had prostitution from the beginning. That's the world's oldest profession. We've had, sun has been on our faces. But I guess maybe there's been homelessness in the very beginning. But that's another thing. We're going to compare 2018 to 50,000 years ago. Well, we've had homeless people back when the cavemen were there. We also didn't have running water or fucking airplanes or goddamn smartphones or radios or all this other shit. So to make it seem like, anyways, Tony Pemberton, he's been working since he was 13 years old. He's a working man. I'm gonna highlight him and the other ones. He's managed hundreds of people as a festival, as a planner, see buildings, I see the same thing, a canvas, cultural and ethnic diversity. He thinks that Pueblo is a canvas and we're ready to work, and so he wants to make Pueblo more desirable to come and live. He believed in Pueblo when he came here, and he thinks that he can make it better. He believes in lots of people. He wants to do good for goodness sake. We got a beautiful city in the world, so okay. That's my analysis on Nick Gradisar's responses in the third mayoral forum.